good, people? What's going on? You guys are watching your favorite podcast, Connecting the Dots. It's your boy, Caleb Smith.
I am Kimmy Coco.
What's going on, guys? It's been a week. What's been going down? It's a lot of stuff, Kim.
Same old stuff, different day.
Mm-hmm.
My week was pretty good. Just work, regular stuff. How about you? How's school? How'd you do with your exams?
We will find out next week. So
what?
We'll see. But yeah,
do you feel confident?
Yeah, I feel great about it. One more semester and we're done. So
Atlanta United won whatever
we finally won
you
something.
Win that when you
MLS
play soccer.
Cup. Yeah, we finally won something. So I'll take it. No complaints at all.
Last week, TV was blogged with the burial of George, the HW. There really nothing crazy happened like that. But there was a few things that we wanted to touch on. Marijuana is being legalized in the Midwest, in Michigan, the first state in the Midwest. And then we're going to talk about the school to prison pipeline. Something happened last week, and the students are all getting together to protest them with the policing of their schools. Another police shooting. I think everybody may have seen the video in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Uber, the state of Georgia wants to tax Uber rides. And just a couple of other things that we want to go over. And Coco with Kimmy, we're going to talk about another couple broke up, another Hollywood hip-hop couple called it quits. Actually, two of them this week. So let's get it started.
Let's do it.
First, there have been a lot of recalls for food. The FDA put out a list. If you go to fda.gov, you'll see it. I know during Thanksgiving, if you remember, lettuce.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of the things that I thought was crazy, ibuprofen for infants, that sold at CVS, an Equate brand.
Wow.
I used to use that for my baby, and they had recalled that they may have higher concentrations of ibuprofen than it says on the label. So if you're giving them the right amount, it might not be the right amount because the concentration is wrong.
Okay.
Pet food too now. It's just the list just goes on and on, but there's some everyday products that, like I said, if you go to fda.gov, they have a list of it on there. So everyone's wondering what's going on. Why so many recalls lately?
Right.
And so I went to this website, and it's called echowatch.com. And basically what they're saying is the Trump administration has weakened food administration standards like they have done the standards of life, basically, and of any presidential administration ever. But one thing that they said is that Trump green-lighted industry plans to allow chicken slaughterhouses to speed up inspection lines, and it proposed doing the same to pork slaughterhouses, and it makes it harder for inspectors to review each carcass. So the risk of disease getting into the food is going up. And also, as far as the vegetables go, the water that they use to water the vegetables can be contaminated with manure, and
that's disgusting.
It's just, the list goes on and on and on about the food and how it is really getting harder and harder to keep safe food.
Kim, quick question. Do you think we as a people, as black people, or just as Americans overall, should we focus more on farming more, creating our own food? Because it's kind of tough if we have to go through all these processes.
I think we should, and I think that we used to back in the day.
Right.
I mean, not even that long ago. I say maybe 2 generations ago. But what happened was the government started giving all those grants and all the education about farming, all those schools, to white people. And they kind of blacked us out.
Yeah. He even said that.
Yeah, Martin Luther King said that in one of his speeches. He was saying that, all those loans, those agriculture schools, they started giving grants and loans to go to those agriculture schools to white kids. And so it kind of put us out.
Yeah.
So we have to depend on everyone else for our own food. That is, until we get independent, we're always going to be dependent on somebody else to feed us.
Yeah. I hate that too, man, because it's you can't trust the same government that's been known to put drugs in our communities. They've bombed our communities. And we still think that they're going to feed us the proper food or things like that.
I mean, in order to have that, though, we have to have our own land.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it goes back to money and us having our own ownership. Also, another thing, livestock operations are becoming a ticking time bomb for antibiotic-resistant superbugs.
Wow.
Animals are nearly twice as much medically important antibiotics as European counterparts. So basically, the meat, they're not able to inspect it as much as they should because they're trying to produce so much at the same time. There's a strain of E. coli that isn't treated with antibiotics.
That's disgusting.
I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy. And I saw a clip on Instagram. It was like 3 weeks ago, and it showed how cows are slaughtered. And seeing how they just walk up to them and they just slit their throats, and then you can see like the cow just fighting for their lives and things like that. Like,
so then they say that
crazy.
all that anxiety and all that
that's inside
of the food.
And then
so then I wonder what that has to do. And I meant to ask this question before, and maybe we should look it up and discuss it later. What do you think that has to do with the effect on mental health?
That's a great possibility.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a rise in anxiety, and people are always complaining that they're having anxiety.
Charlamagne the God, he even says that. Like,
about food or just about anxiety?
Food, and that being with anxiety as well, because he was saying, his anxiety is so bad now. Like, if he said he was at a Beyonce concert, I think, and when he was there, that he had to leave because there was so many people. Then he started thinking about like different scenarios, like what if somebody tries to shoot up the place, what if somebody tries to bomb it, and he said his heart started racing and he just left. So I think that so many people have that, and this could be traced to the food. And some cultures, like the Jewish culture, when they practice killing the animal, they try to take care of it,
right?
Things like that. But I don't know, like, this is sick to me, just seeing how everything is poor and it's not being processed properly, but it's the day and age that we live in.
Yeah, this is also from Echo Watch. In March, Trump announced billions of dollars of cuts to the U.S. FDA, undermining their ability to keep our food safe. In November, the Trump administration proposed a delay in enforcement of urgently needed rules aimed at keeping produce free from fecal contamination. Contaminated irrigation water is a major cause of foodborne illness outbreaks. And that's what caused the last few E. coli outbreaks, the contaminated water, like we were just saying. So when you scroll back on all those, like, things that are trying to keep you safe, and you trying to save money, but you're gonna make everybody sick.
That's it. And see, it's crazy too, like when they try to say the government has budget cuts, but they try to cut the wrong things, like after school programs or food, things like that, where these are necessities. But this is the type of society that we live in. Capitalism, it drives this.
Capitalism drives it.
It's sick. And we've been having the same issue since like the early 1900s, because it was a book, I think, by Upton Sinclair, and it was called The Jungle, I think. This came out in like 1920-ish. But he was just saying that even back then, how they processed food, it was disgusting, like hot dogs, hamburgers, all that stuff. And this has been happening since 1915.
And processed foods is one of the number one causes of cancer.
Are you serious? See? And are you familiar with, what was his name? I forgot his name. Aaliyah, she was around him a lot. Erykah Badu, Dr. Sebi.
Yeah, my brother interviewed him on he had a radio show, and he interviewed
crazy.
him. But yeah, and there's a lot of those people that were preaching about the dangers of, they get killed. You can't hear from them anymore.
That's it. And Sebi, he was mysteriously found dead somewhere, like on a road or something like that. But he was actually proven to have cured HIV through food, cancer, all of these things in court. So from day one, these people have been preaching that food, that's like the first step. What you eat is what you are.
Right.
But I think that our people, sometimes we try to say, oh, he's just tripping, or, he's just too deep.
Well, my parents lived to be 80 and they ate like
this.
But
everybody can't be like that. Everybody can't be like that. And we have more people that suffer from high blood pressure than we do that's not.
Yes.
So it's coming from the food.
Yes.